Opening up the UFC Vegas 68 fight card, we have Tatsuro Taira taking on Jesus Aguilar. Tatsuro Taira's undefeated in his career. He's coming off his second round submission win over CJ Vergara. And he's taking on Jesus Aguilar, who's 8-1 overall, 5-0 in his last 5. He's making his official UFC debut. And this is an interesting fight. You see the odds. Tatsuro opened as a minus 1,100 favorite. That went all the way back to a minus 800 favorite. That was bet down, and then it not only did it rebound, it came back a little stronger. I get it. He's a very good grappler. He's got very good hands as well, and he's a dangerous kid. A lot of his submissions are from knocking people down and then hopping on them and pulling off the submission there. So he's a dangerous guy everywhere, and he's taking on Jesus Aguilar, who's also a solid grappler, but he's a guillotine guy. And it's weird because he literally looks for guillotines. It's like his go-to move. He's not just snatching it when he sees it. He's trying to set it up. Those are that'll work on the regional scene. Once you hit the UFC, it's going to be harder and harder to find that stuff. Tatsuro Taira is the easy pick here. But I will say, if you go back, you watch that CJ Vergara fight, he was getting desperate and weird with the takedowns. It's almost like CJ's pressure was bothering him, and he was just diving at legs out of desperation. And he didn't need to be desperate. It was bizarre. Do you remember that whole, just didn't look confident in his takedowns at all?
Our definitions of desperate are a little bit different,
Yeah, I'm not wearing that dumbass shirt on here asking for women to retweet me. So yeah, very different definitions of desperate.
All right, that's a 10-9 for Angelo.
Go ahead, talk about
I didn't know it was my turn. That was like an abrupt little ending there. But yeah, I think that the obvious play for this is definitely going to be Tatsuro with the grappling, with the wrestling. As you mentioned, Jesus Christ is a decent wrestler in his own right, a decent grappler, but he's not going to be on the same level as Tatsuro. But I will say that Jesus is one of those guys, and I actually heard when I was watching his Contender Series fight, whatever one it was, that when he came to the UFC, he now has, I believe, the shortest reach in the UFC or something like that, like in the like the division history or something like that. He has a short, stubby arms, but he will get in there. He will duck his head with zero technique and throw absolute bombs. And that's a little bit worrisome if you're coming up against a guy like Tatsuro, because Tatsuro is decent on the feet, but I think that's the most liability for him fighting is on the feet. Once he's on the ground, he can hang with pretty much anyone probably in this division. But on the feet, a young guy, mistakes can happen, especially against somebody that's not technical, right? When you're in there sparring, you're looking for technical shots, you're slipping technical shots. This dude, Jesus, will duck his head and just come over with that short little stubby arm and slap you right across the neck, and all of a sudden you're on the ground. So, it's a pause for the cause a little bit on the feet with this dude, Jesus, because he is so wild. But the play is Tatsuro. But I will say, you mentioned the guillotines. If Tatsuro's shooting takedowns, maybe those little arms can get underneath that neck and choke him out. You can get round one submission flyer for plus 4,500 for a guy that's known for his guillotine against a guy that is also known to shoot takedowns. I mean, I think a lot of his takedowns more like body lock and stuff like that, more than just like a run the single with your head out there. But and then first round KO TKO if you're looking for a wild flyer in case he catches one of those shots, plus 5,500 for a guy that throws as wild as Jesus. But Tatsuro's a play. Don't get it twisted.
No, I think the odds are a bit wild.
They're wild, yeah.
At minus 800, I thought Tatsuro Taira is a solid parlay play. Minus 1,200? I mean, that's 33% more. No, 50% more. I mean, that's a problem. That's a very different line, minus 800 to minus 1,200. Super chat from Joey T, $4.99. Everyone smash that like button. Become a member as well. What are you waiting on? And Jacob, you better be ready for that late night stream on Saturday. Oh, that's what you were talking about when you said you would join if he's lonely. Jacob hates when other people go on. It breaks his rhythm. But thank you very, very much. It is genuinely
Did you get the Quint
appreciated
one to start?
I did not. Let's go ahead and scroll up. Quint Lazenby
donates every stream, by the way.
$2 super chat. Hello, my friends. Like the stream. Both Clint and Joey, not only do you do the super chats, which is incredibly appreciated, but also you use it for good. You use it for good. I assumed you guys would just clown his shirt, but you're using it for good. And we appreciate that. Both
clown
of you.
Whose shirt?
No, not yours.
I'm fashion. I'm stylish. I'm bringing an edge to the podcast, and you've got on your dad. You got on your dad fleece.
It's a cardigan. It's nice and warm. It's cold as shit outside.
No, it's a cardigan. But thanks for noticing.
Yeah,
Pull
very-
over. You don't even know that's from, do you?
No, I don't. $9,600 in DraftKings. You got to play Tatsuro Taira, no? You have to.
Yeah.
He's going to score those points. I mean, he should get
Who was $9,700 in 283?
Jalton Almeida, and he was worth every penny.
All right. I'm surprised that's not 97. I don't know what separates the two in this situation, honestly. It should be the same type of fight, I would imagine, but, you know.
I mean, yeah. I mean, one was shooting desperate shots against CJ Vergara, and the other one is picking up 260-pound men over his head and slamming him down.
I bet Tatsuro could pick you over his head and slam you down, and you're over 300 pounds.
This is like when you said I had fake teeth, and for a week, people just were convinced I had fake teeth.
Well,
Absolutely.
all you have to do is try to pop them out and show them that they are real.
Tell you what, I'll
But
weigh
you were
myself.
talking about your new Bondo that you're pretty.
I'll weigh myself.
You can sleep
on
in those now, right?
I'll weigh myself on stream if you let me chalk your head and your feet like a baby on the floor, and we'll measure
I got
between
something
the
you can
lines,
chalk and measure.
so people can know how tall you actually are.
I'm not tall, but I'm long.
And skinny. Line movement, 1,100 to 1,200, not much there. We both agree $9,600 in DraftKings. I mean, you kind of have to do it for sure. Monkey Knife Eye strike line, 42 to 21. Listen, Tatsuro Taira is a dominant, once he gets going and stuff like that, but more is not a crazy play here because he will let his hands go. And when he hits the ground, he does sort of smack away. So I think Tatsuro Taira over 42. This is total strikes, not significant strikes. I think that's possible. What do you think?
Yeah, and I assume you were talking about Tatsuro when you were talking about all that offense. Yeah, he's not a guy that will force a takedown early. He will engage in the striking a little bit. So the only issue is I expect when he does get a hold of Jesus, I've seen Jesus on the ground, he loses scramble after scramble if he does not get like those guillotines and stuff. And Tatsuro's a guy that's like boom, 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 like all of a sudden he's on the back, threatening the neck very, very quickly. So a little bit cautious there, but I definitely agree with your striking comments.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more with Monkey Knife Fight. If you want to check that out, weonpicks.com/MKF. If you get a strike line right, if you just do more, less, whatever it is, if you get that right, you can triple your money. But even more so, we have been printing money from Monkey Knife Fight Knockout Kings. So check that out if you're a premium member. That's available now. If not, wait till Friday. The line doesn't move, so there's no real urgency there. But the Prize Picks lines do move, and those are up as well.